Let's jump to this next story from timcast.com. Democrats call Supreme Court illegitimate. Urge resistance following abortion decision.
Because they didn't obey.
This is a story from Adrian Norman from Timcast. Rep. Maxine Waters told protesters to hell with the Supreme Court. We will defy them. AOC was yelling illegitimate. And I should say urging resistance. You mean urging insurrection.
Violence.
Now, as much as I will jokingly say urging insurrection, and I'm making a point by saying it, I do appreciate that at timcast.com we don't use that loaded language. But the point I'm making when I say insurrection is these Democrats are coming out right now and saying no to the Supreme Court. And more importantly, and maybe you can comment on this more, Will, the DOJ, Garland, came out and rebuked both the gun decision and Roe v. Wade. When does the DOJ do that?
It doesn't. That's not its job, right? The DOJ
has it ever come out and announced it would defy or is resistant?
I've never seen DOJ independently make announcements and pronounce on like how how much it disagreed with the Supreme Court decision. Like that's new to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't recall the Trump DOJ under Barr ever doing anything like this. And I think that's because that's the role. I mean, it's supposed to. There's two big reasons. One is that the DOJ is supposed to have this nominal appearance of independence, right? Like they're the enforcers of the laws, the people who make the decision about who to prosecute, who not to prosecute. So like them at least trying to appear unbiased should be important, which is clearly they're just not. And then secondly, they go in front of the Supreme Court regularly. I mean, the U.S. government is routinely a litigant in front of the Supreme Court, defending its own laws, trying to also as amicus, like making statements about other cases that might implicate a federal interest. So there's an importance for the DOJ itself to have a somewhat like good, working relationship with the courts. In fact, like the Solicitor General is often called like the 10th justice because they're so often in front of the court. And the idea that DOJ would jeopardize that by just going, the Attorney General being like, you're all wrong and you're idiots. Like, okay, that actually breaking that relationship. And maybe it's good because you want the government to lose in the Supreme Court a lot, but it's very unique and bizarre.
Well, I thought what you just said there. Yeah, I'm putting more icing on the cake. Look, I'm not going to stop celebrating. But you made this point, and you're saying that it could be great if the Supreme Court just starts siding against the government more often. In my mind, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm going to make another cake.
I got a question.
I'm going to run out of cakes.
I've got a question for everybody. Slippery slope, right? So when we were younger, people would say, well, if you allow gay marriage, then they're going to start trying to groom your kids. Yeah. And if you start to...
Wait, they're doing that.
Yeah.
Everything the Christian right said just turned out to be true, but continue.
So my question is the slippery slope not a fallacy, right? If you look at abortion, they said if you allow abortion, they're going to say, well, now it's no longer just safe, legal, rare. It's now going to be all the way up to 9 months and maybe even a couple of days after or like right after there. So my question,
as
do you
Northam,
think that...
Northam said, make the baby's delivered, made comfortable, and then the mother and the doctor have a conversation.
The conversation is had, right?
Here's the thing. I'll say slippery slope, it's not a fallacy, and it never was.
Nope.
Right?
I don't think, I think the idea that a slippery slope means it implies that you go off the rails, things go out of control, sort of. I view it as degrees, incrementalization.
Yeah.
It's not a fallacy. It's literally just once the door is opened on, say, two people can get married, it's none of your business. Then the question is, under that logic, however, you realize that like an adult father could marry his daughter, right? Are you okay with that? Because I think that's kind of over the line. And then they can say, okay, but that one, no. It's like, hold on. If your argument is based on the idea that two consenting adults in the privacy of their own home and however they want to deal with their lives should not be infringed upon, then why would that not open the door to every other circumstance?
So how do we put on the brakes, right?
Well,
so that's the thing, because initially, like, I think if two men want to get married, they should be free to do that, right? I don't think the state should inhibit it, that behavior. That's my own personal view. But how do you put the brakes on once you've done something like that and you safeguard or protect that it doesn't go off?
There's no brakes.
Yeah, I don't think there are.
Keep your kids off the internet. For a
All
while.
right, that, my friend, is a 20. 100%.
Pump
Keep
the
your
brakes.
kids off the internet.
Maybe not 24/7, but pump the brakes and supervise if they're going to be there.